here.
Hello and welcome. This is Carl Cox Motorsport Suzuki XR69. This is my friend Bob, who helps me with my racing, helps build my bikes. And we haven't started this bike for over 3 years because the last time I rode it was at Phillip Island in 2020, and I crashed it twice. And because of one thing and another, COVID, and because Bob had to rebuild the bike, we haven't actually started it, and we're going to give it a go today, and we don't know if it's going to go or not. So you're going to be in on it.
Wish us luck.
So before we go on, let me tell you a little bit more about this amazing superbike. It was acquired by Carl Cox Motorsport in 2017 and hand-built by Roger Winfield. It was used mainly at the Phillip Island Classic in the early 2010s and raced in the International Challenge match races for Team Great Britain. We think it's one of the bikes ex-MotoGP star Jeremy McWilliams rode. It's been back and forth from Australia to the UK since we've had it to get it running and handling properly, and along the way it's been worked on by Team Classic Suzuki and fettled by my long-suffering mate and mechanic Bob. 2020 was the first time we got it working properly, and I scored a pole position, win and some podiums along the way. But I also crashed it during the same race meeting, once to avoid some fallen riders around the Southern Loop, and it got properly mangled after I was taken out in the same corner battling for the lead on the last lap. It's a replica of an early 80s Suzuki XR69 superbike with a tubular steel Harris F1 chassis and a bored out GS1000 engine, making around 140 to 150 bhp. It has an Öhlins rear shock, billet aluminium forks with K-Tech internals, lightweight Dimag wheels with quite a narrow rear and Pirelli Superbike slicks. It feels very different to a modern superbike to ride, and actually very clumsy feeling at first. It's very light, but the throttle and clutch are really heavy, and the tank is so wide it's hard to hang off in the modern style. It goes like stink though, and the Brembo brakes are brutally powerful. Once you're used to it, it can lap very fast, but you really have to push a long way past what's comfortable to be able to do it, especially with no rider aids. Since COVID, the Phillip Island event hasn't run again, and this bike isn't legal for most UK classic races, so we're not sure what the next step is. Perhaps parades or noisy classic bike track days. But before we think of any of that, we need to see if the bike runs, because Bob's worried the engine may have sucked in some gravel when I crashed.
Right, so I don't stand on the fucker and fall off into the oblivion.
Okay.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. What was it doing?
I think it's swapping seats.
You reckon?
Hang on. Seats.
Blimey.
Well,
Would you want to try?
hang on, try one more time. But
Go
I
on.
think it's seats.
What about second?
Yeah, try second.
Get up. Get off the stand.
Yeah. I'll put you back on.
Thanks. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I think we're there. Okay. Yeah. At this point, we think the engine might just be seized.
Right. Instead of don't even try and turn the tyre on, no. Stick it back, bang.
Do you know what I think, Dave? So I've hoovered it all out. There's
Yeah.
nothing in there. I think what happened when it in, because the carbs came off of it, when we got it back,
Yeah.
had no carbs on it. I think a bit of grit, a bit of fucking turn 2 has got inside that inlet port, and I think that's what's happened.
Yeah.
So I think it's, I mean, it ain't, that's seized, isn't it? But
I had that look to it. Do you want to push it? Like go up a couple of gears and we'll just push it along a touch.
Try it third or something, but you can try it on that on third just to see if it
Oh, not to start it, just to push it and get it to fucking
Just to get it to turn.
over.
Well, stick it in third or something. Stick it back on here because that'll do it.
Right, it's,
Like just
okay.
what I'm worried about is if it is. Right. Let me just get. I'll tell you when.
It's that fucking starter. The starter stops turning when you do that. It literally stops turning.
We're starting to think that our starter rollers aren't man enough to turn this high compression engine. Want to try pushing?
Yeah, give it a push.
We're going to give it an old-fashioned bump to see if we can get the engine to turn.
No, that.
Toe the fucker.
Yeah. Got a push there, drag it along.
It's a good job our Aussie friend Rod, who's in the UK to run Carl Cox's 3,000 odd bhp drag car, that's a whole other story, is on hand to push. It was never going to be easy.
Oh! It's not seized.
Yeah, okay.
Not seized.
What's that? Sometimes.
Try again.
Yeah.
Blimey. Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Might go on the starter now. Needs to be first, I think. Yeah.
Do you want a minute or you?
I'm alright.
You go forward a bit. Forward. That way.
Yeah.
Forward. Forward. Turn the bars that way.
Left hand down or right hand down?
Now, yeah, towards you.
Left hand down.
Left hand down. Straight. You should be in the centre of that.
Yeah. Okay. Right, needs to be first. Give the back wheel a spin if it does. That's it. Right. Okay.
You don't want a minute, mate?
No, I'm all good.
Sure.
Yep.
Right, hang on a second. Try something else.
Like the clutch in this.
Yeah, it's like a slipper clutch, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds fucking low.
That's a good point, actually. It's got a slipper clutch in it.
Could have.
Probably not.
I don't think it has.
No, I don't think it has.
What does it fucking do? It's just a car starter motor, really.
Buoyed on by the realisation it's not seized, we let some air out of the rear tyre to see if it will grip the rollers better. But instead, Bob has a brainwave.
You're the only other person I might.
Let's let them tyres down.
But then that's going to produce more grip, isn't it?
Hey?
That's the opposite, isn't it? It's going to produce more
A
grip.
friend of ours, Chris Riches, who owns a bunch of classics, including an ex-Barry Sheen bike, has a beefier starter motor. He only lives down the road, so we run off and fetch it. While we're waiting, Bob's going to tell us how he repaired the bike.
Yeah, so it came back, it was really bent. It came back with just a sort of bent petrol tank on it, and the subframe was kind of poking up this way. All this and stayed in turn 2, I think, at Phillip Island. So I took it to, the initial thing was obviously I had a good look round it, see if there was any gravel ingress. The carbs had come off in the crash and fucking ripped one of the throttle cables. Anyway, Took it to mate to the motor liner, and Tommy there, he's just a miracle worker. He straightened all the subframe out. So, and that's really difficult, I suppose, because he hasn't got any drawings or anything to go with. He's just done it all by eye.
Yeah.
Got it back, and then it's just been a sort of slow process, really, because if you remember, Mick, we had COVID.
Yeah.
We didn't really get a lot done, and I was doing your S1000 race bike. So this sort of stood in the sidelines. Ordered some new bodywork. My friend Paul at Barrett's body shop in Canterbury painted it for us. Yeah. My friend Luke done all the vinyl in. Got a new wiring loom made, because the wiring loom was never really very good, by Rupert Paul from Rupe's Wires. He's amazing. And then literally just little bits and pieces, oil cooler, brackets, just what I should have done is written it down, because there was, you know, there was lots of stuff that needed doing. So I took it to bits, put it back together again, and here it is, all straight in one piece, and hopefully ready for us to go and ride again. Yeah. And next time it will come back looking like this.
A bit of a labour of love, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've been doing it as and when you can.
Well, yeah, and fitting it in around other stuff, my stuff, your stuff, life, yeah, and that sort of thing. And of course, because we haven't really targeted any events to do on this bike, I suppose it's sort of, yeah, it's taken second stage.
Yeah. We think that rather than an engine problem, it's a starter problem. The old starter wasn't man enough. We tried bumping it and the engine turns, so hopefully that means it's not seized. So we've borrowed this starter off of Chris Riches, a friend of ours, and we're gonna see if the old girl goes.
Right, let me just let it warm up for a little bit.
Let the starter warm up. Now we've got starting problems. Ready? Yeah. All right. Moment of truth. What? Yep. What? Is not touching it. That is angry. Fucking hell. That is one angry mofo.
How fucking horrible it is, isn't it?
Fucking hell. I'm scared of it just sitting there.
Fuck. It's going to be on or off, man.
Jesus. And one more time for luck.
did that. It did that itself.
Hey, yeah.
What I put that down to is them carbs. All the mains apart. I need to take the carbs apart.
Yeah.
Clean them all out. What we know is it starts, it runs. It's not blown up. So I'll take the carbs off it.
Yeah.
Give them a fucking good birthday. I hate carb rails. And start again.